Action activate! Let's rock it! Here we come! There they go! Evil rise! 'Cause they know we're super soldiers! We got cool clothes! You real smooth! When you see our pose! Tension! Energize! Mask off! Time to ride! Combine! Grease ties! Fly game!
Hey, what's up? It's me, Gazbot, coming at you with an extra action activate. That's right, action activate. We're here to talk about Hasbro Pulsecon. Who's we? Well, me, Gazbot, of course. And if I'm here, then with me as always.
Big Dawg Defender,
Yes.
I feel like I've seen you way too many times this week. What is this, number 3?
Yeah, we went from a 3-month hiatus to a 3 in a week. What are you gonna do? But you know,
Hardcore.
It just worked out. You're on your lunch break. I have my mom in town, and Pulsecon happened. And originally, I was thinking, like, well, maybe we could do a Monday or something. But then I realized, oh, Power Rangers are done because they got all day tomorrow. But we could talk about Power Rangers. Let me throw this up here real quick. This is what we're talking about. Hasbro Pulsecon 2021. We are recording this in noon. California time. It is still going on Friday. It is still going on today and tomorrow. But all the Hasbro Power Ranger stuff is done, and so we figured we would talk about that.
Yes.
So, Big Dog, what are your first impressions of what we heard?
So a couple things they said we kind of already had rumblings or like brief confirmations before, but kind of going in chronological order of the Power Ranger talk. They started with Dino Fury. Hey, we're taking all Power Rangers off of Netflix, but hey, we're gonna put all new Power Rangers only on Netflix.
And it's gonna be next year sometime. They said, I forget when.
Spring is just gonna be here's season 2.
So it's gonna be a little
probably split in half if I had to guess, but yeah.
That's not a bad guess, but it's sort of like cool, I guess. Is this because Nickelodeon wasn't doing them any favors? But is this yet one more? Hey, this is the end of the traditional what we're used to Power Rangers being. And if so, is that good or bad? You know, but just it raises more questions than anything, I guess, for me.
For you, do you prefer having it in the binge model, or do you prefer weekly, or what do you think?
I like things coming out weekly. Like I'm fine with that. I don't like when we get like 4 episodes and then it's 6 months later. Like I like a normal weekly schedule. But since we haven't had that, and I feel like Nick has not done a good job supporting the show, I'm fine going to Netflix. You know what I mean? And jump. And that doesn't mean I'll binge them all because Power Rangers, for the most part, isn't the type of show I like to binge. When we get into like the later parts of a season and there's like a lot of crazy stuff, but usually it's sort of like episodic. So I'm not dying to see the next one. So I kind of do like watching one and then waiting a few days and watch another. But more importantly, I'm as much as I worry what this means for Power Rangers as a brand and as a show going forward, not being Nickelodeon, not being on terrestrial television, I do like Netflix and I like how they deal with their shows. So that makes me feel good.
I personally prefer watching shows in a weekly model, so I keep that hype for a longer period of time. But I think the biggest thing this solves is not having it release at a weird time.
Yes, hopefully they'll release it like internationally and not like, oh, well, Europe still gets it off of Netflix 3 months early or some dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, like there won't be this weird thing where it's like, hey, here's a big spoiler. Hope you enjoyed not seeing this for 4 more months. And it's like
it couldn't possibly be as bad as it is now currently, but it does occur to me because this happened with other shows where they drop however many episodes, 8 episodes, 12 episodes. With my life, I'm not the kind of person, even if I wanted to, I could sit down and watch. Oh, let me just quickly watch all of them. Yeah. And I've had other shows where they dropped it and I'm on like episode 2 and people are spoiling what happened in episode 5. And the people who do that, I'm not talking about someone who happens to be talking about it and like, oh no, but like people that like go on Twitter or Facebook and just put like an image screenshot at the end of the 5th episode, the day it came out. It's like, I didn't have time to watch it, you know? So I don't think,
what are you doing?
I don't think it'll ever completely go away, the spoiler stuff, but hopefully if it's just, I got to see off the internet for a week or 2 to like catch up, that's a lot easier than like, don't go on the internet for months, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, and this is something obviously we'll figure out once we get there. It could be a thing too for us where we just try to do like 2 a week in one sitting in like one video, as opposed to, you know, here's one and here. So it
Well, I
gives
mean,
us options.
maybe we record 2 a week, but we still put them out weekly, and then we build up a backlog. So if we need a break or something happens,
Yeah.
nobody needs to know.
Yeah, for Action Activate's sake, it gives us a lot of freedom, like
Yes.
Beast Morpher Season 2 did, where it's like, well, I guess it's already in Australia. Let's figure
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah.
So
And in that panel, they revealed one of the new Lightning Collection figures, but I figured we could pause on that and do the other thing first and then go to the figures.
yeah.
So
To be honest, I didn't see all of the Dino Fury stuff. I just know that was the biggest. Hey,
I
here's the
kind of was
difference.
half watching it because I was doing other stuff. Believe it or not, I've been working on my office. It might look the same, but I've been doing a lot of work in here. So I had that on kind of in the background as I was doing it. And then when the toy news came on, I just sat down. I was like, okay, what do we do? You know, but the first big toy news was this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is the Lord Zed. They called it helmet. They called it head because it's kind of both. The vacuum chrome shininess looks so good, so good.
You're not a big like prop, or no, you're a prop guy, but you're not like
Yeah.
a helmet or mask guy. And I feel like this might have got you.
It's tempting for sure. I have I have a full suit of armor from Samurai, and I do have a lot of morphers. I mean, compared to who? You know, it's not the primary thrust of my collection. I have technically 3 helmets. I have 2 Samurai Gold, one that goes with my full suit, and one the Aniki chromed out one that like I'm afraid to wear. And then I have a toy version of Jungle Fury Red.
Oh,
that
yeah,
looks
that's right.
pretty good. This is more tempting than any of the Ranger helmets I've seen because it's so different.
Yeah.
Because it could be, and the shiny chrome. I gotta be honest, the shiny chrome.
Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna get it because space being an issue, and if I was gonna get another helmet, I'd probably want like RJ or like there are other characters I want before Zed. If I was someone that had a few, like if I had a shelf of helmets, this would definitely go on it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're charging for. Did they announce the price yet? I think they might not have.
They
announced
might have.
the price.
I mean, the other helmets are like 80 or $100, I want to say. So I would imagine this being maybe
Has to be more though.
120.
Has to be, yeah, because it also has voice changing technology.
Here,
The
let me
others don't
look.
have that. So I'm going to say it's going to be closer to 200. And with the vacuum chrome and so much, yeah, I'm going to say this is going to be like, what do the other ones go for? You said
Like 80 to 100.
I'm going to say 150 easy on this. 150 with all the electronics and stuff and the different plastic for the squishy brain. Do we still got you?
Hang
Hello?
on.
Oh, you're looking
Yeah,
it up?
it doesn't like when I use a tab when we talk on here.
Well, also, I think the pre-orders go up 4:00 Eastern for well, some of it's pre-order, some of it's straight buy, but none of the new stuff is available until 4:00 Eastern time for Hasbro Pulse premium members. Nothing's available yet, and so I
So
think
we'll
maybe
find
they're
out
holding
in
back
40
on-
minutes because we did it just too early and just too late.
Well, the prices don't. I mean, like nobody's coming to us to find out what the prices on these things are. You know what I mean?
If one of
But
us is grossly inaccurate, let us know in the comments.
There you go. It is very cool, though. I like it a lot. I like that they're doing something other than Mighty Morphin helmets. Although, for the people that are collecting those, I hope they finish that because I think there's still like 1 or 2 they haven't done. But
I think they have a bunch they haven't done.
Blue, well, they've done pink, red, green, and white, right?
Yes. So they need 3 more.
So 3 more, yeah. But it is Mighty Morphin, so that's the bread and butter. So hopefully that'll work.
Ooh, as a note, Hasbro has not done green.
Oh, that was Bandai. Well,
so the Bandai
okay.
one is like $200 or $300 right now.
Oh my goodness,
because it's very hard to get.
Well, it exists, I guess. And the thing is, for a new collector, I'm not worried about it. I'm thinking of someone that like has half the set. I want them to finish it in whatever form. It doesn't affect me personally, but that's all I really had to say about the Zed helmet. What about you?
I think it looks cool. I'm very curious price because that. I mean,
is there any chance you will get it?
Possibly,
depending on price.
Price is part of it. I mean, if I ever got it, it would be on a sale. But also, once I have all my Ranger stuff reorganized and reformatted and whatnot, I have 1 helmet already, so it could go with that.
What's the helmet you have? I forget.
Red.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Bandai red.
Yeah. I would have to see where I would put it in my collection because, I don't feel the need to run out and pre-order it and get it full price. If I don't get it, that's fine. If I saw it on sale, I'd be tempted because it's very cool looking, but I don't know where it would really fit in, And again, if I was going to make room for another helmet, that's not the character I would choose personally. Yeah. So it's tough. I think it looks cool and it's great that they made it, but I don't want it.
Well, the 2 things I will say for you is it's an American only character and it's chrome.
Yeah, and that's why I'm interested in it. And
Yeah.
I think Zed is a visually interesting. He's very 90s. I mean, Power Rangers is very 90s, but also in a very comic booky way. It makes
Yeah.
me think of like 90s comic book villains, like, you know. So I like Zed. It's not that I don't. I would, you know, whatever. It's
I'm behind on the comics, but I just read. I'm like 6 issues behind or something. But I just read like a retroactive origin of Zed, which is
Right.
really cool, by the way. Recommend it once you get there, and if you're watching, just read the comics. I say it all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I'm just not following my own advice.
Let's move on to the next toy thing, which you were alluding to, Lightning Collection.
Yes. So this specific one, the Zedo Dino Fury Red figure, was revealed during the Dino Fury panel because the actor got to look at it and hold it and see his likeness and stuff.
Good likeness overall.
Yeah, pretty good. My only complaint, and it's not a big one, because it actually looks pretty good like the actor. I had a similar complaint with the Dino Charge. Wait, I'm mixing my dinos. Dino Charge Red, Brendan Mejia, where it was a decent likeness, but I would like a smiling face. Now, with Tyler, I really wanted it because he is just smiles all around. But with Zedo, he's very often doing sort of a subtle, like, kind of smile,
like a smirk.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess that gets into needing two heads because most people want like a stoic, I'm in battle kind of, or I'm standing with my helmet. But I guess my thought is if I have the helmet on, it's an action pose. If I don't, then like give me some expression. But I think I'm in the minority here. I do think it is a good likeness, especially compared to some of the others we've seen recently.
It is interesting. I know head sculpts are A, there's a likeness issue. B, like they're kind of expensive. But like to make, I mean, for Hasbro. I know they did it for Transformers where they did like this Pulse exclusive, like $30 thing with a bunch of accessories that go with everybody. If they did that with this, I feel like it would sell well.
It was just alternate heads with expressions.
Alternate heads or like weapons we didn't get, or like
I like that alternate hand.
But yeah, like I think that'd be cool. But speaking of Dino, we have yet another.
But you were saying before we get on, you were saying you were excited about this because you're like, oh, that's a team that we're gonna get like all the team of. Like that's part of why you were excited for it.
Oh, this I have more confidence that before season 2 starts, they're going to prioritize putting 1 or 2 of them each wave.
Well, that's not what you said before. I'll agree with that. You had said something about getting a complete team. And my retort to that was, well, Beast Morphers came out while Beast Morphers on the air, and we still didn't get 2 of the main characters.
Beast Morphers is the neglected child of Power Ranger brands.
We got, I mean, and that was weird too, because now I think about it, we got 3 of the 5 main Rangers. Arguably, we don't need Steel. That makes no sense just because he's a robot, but we definitely needed Zoe. And we got Ravi, and we got 1 of the main villains. And arguably there's 4 main villains. We only got 1. But even if you were just going to get Blaze and Roxy, where's Roxy? Is it because they're female characters? I don't know. But we also didn't get the robot. So, but my point is, because we just experienced that, I don't have the faith you do that they're just going to crank out all the Dino Furies. That being said, I will get this one, and it looks better than all the ones that have come before that I did not get knowing this would happen. And so unlike with Beast Morphers, I don't have a pile of Beast Morphers figures that I have a pile of Beast Morphers figures I don't want, and I don't have that with Dino Fury.
Yeah, I have this would be my first Dino Fury piece, I think.
Same. I don't think I own anything Dino Fury. I have all my stuff is Ryu Soldier. So like I do have those mechs and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right, the mechs. Yeah, I mean, once again, put the Lightning Collection out. People were complaining on Twitter, I was looking earlier, of like, oh, look at them show us all these figures when other ones haven't come out. Yeah, that's what happens.
That's the whole point. Do you? I keep switching this. Do you like us on the side or on the bottom?
I like side.
Yeah. Side. Okay. And that's part of like things get leaked and stuff. So you see stuff like, oh, we already knew about this, or we saw this on a list a year and a half ago, and it's like, well, it's gonna be stuff that isn't gonna be out for a while. That hopefully wasn't spoiled. That's what you get. You know.
This makes our 5th Dino Charge Ranger, does it not?
Red, black, green, gold. Yes. Although I think green isn't technically out yet, but it's like coming out next wave. Yeah. And it's weird though, because that's also black, which I think we both have, but that was an exclusive, which is a weird exclusive. Yeah. I haven't checked. Is he going for a lot now, Chase?
I haven't looked either.
I hope not, because that's crummy, you know.
A bummer. Yeah.
If anything, they should have had like the Dino Steel armor as the exclusive version or whatever, but that's the best. But I'm happy to get Shelby because I want to complete that team. Let's see if there's another shot. And they showed off the head sculpt on her too. That's not bad.
Yeah, looks fine.
again, I think I just have a thing with Power Ranger. A lot of Power Rangers, actually, I want to see them smiling or have more emotion, and maybe that. I don't know, that makes it harder because we have seen some where they're smiling and they look crazy. So maybe that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, split the. It is interesting to me where like look at the intricate paint details on that drill, and
Yes.
then the
gun.
blaster. It's like you started.
I think it's because that is probably one tempo, like a done. Whereas this is individual and they'd have to put more passes. But I do think it needs some silver or something on there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll talk about the paint issues I have with Hasbro Lightning Collection in a little bit.
Okay.
Next one on the list, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not glitchy. But what's the?
I'll put up. If you can look in the preview down below, you can see what I'm getting ready.
I have no access to anything like that.
Oh, you don't see the okay. Well, the next one is Merrick the Lunar Wolf,
This
and
looks
this
good.
is the one I'm most excited about.
He looks good.
He looks good. Even the civilian head looks good. Now, to be fair, he's one of those characters that's got like streaks in his hair and he's got a goatee. It's like someone has glasses or something that just makes it easier. But yeah, I love the look of this suit. It's a silver. It's a wolf. These are things that appeal to me. Out of all the Dino Fury Rangers, I don't even know if he's necessarily my favorite character.
You mean Wild Force?
I'm sorry, Wild Force. It's my favorite suit from Wild Force. And I love that they made a point of this, talking about this, that has like the like hands, which is good because that means all the Wild Force will have that some version of that, which they should. And it's just like something we haven't seen before, which I think is great. I'm very excited about this figure. This is a figure I'm going to pre-order.
Wow.
Yeah, like there's always like, I want this. Well, I guess I'll get it if it's on sale, and like I want this bad enough to pre-order. This is the one I'm pre-ordering. I'm gonna, as soon as it goes up, I don't want to miss out.
It's definitely something where like part of me, we always tell Hasbro, here's what you should do because we're smarter than you. This one I would have loved in a Zanaku 2-pack just so we would get Zanaku.
I think, and this is where I'm like, I'll be a fool because I think we will get some kind of Zanaku 2-pack. And it'll probably be it'll be a slightly different Merrick head or a different effects part. And I'll have to buy that too. But we don't know that's happening. And I don't want to miss out. Like this is on my list of like my top 10 that I would have wanted. This is one of them. So I'm not going to not get it,
Yeah, no, I think he looks great. I think it's funny. Inadvertently, and I don't know if this is a theme, you love all of the wolf themed Rangers.
No, that I mean, I like wolves, and so that is there. Part of it is like, oh, like the helmet design, like I like because it's a wolf, and I think it's a cool design. And this is what I was saying. RJ as a ranger is one of my favorite rangers of all time, and because of that, I like his suit, and I think it's a cool design. Dylan isn't as high as RJ, but I do like him a lot from RPM, and I think that black suit is really, really cool. And it barely even looks like a wolf, to be fair. It's just a cool black suit. This Merrick, I like. Not nearly as much as RJ. He's not in like my top 10 favorite Rangers of all time, but as far as the suit and the character, the Power Ranger character, I like it a lot. So that's
And then our last video, you're like, I don't know if I'm getting them in a Jetty, but I kind of want to get a Billy because I love the wolf.
Well, that was intentional. I was thinking maybe I'd get one Ninjetti just to represent. And if I was gonna get one, why not get?
No, I know that's what I'm saying. Like you could just make your own like wolf 5-ranger team of just wolves.
Yeah. Well, who's the fifth?
I don't know. 4. We did figure it out.
Well, there's a wolf in Uchi Sentai Q Ranger, but they haven't adapted that yet. And that was the blue, and he's actually a wolf character.
You have a vinyl. It'll work.
I do. All right, well, let's see what's next. I forget what's next. Oh wait, I just remembered. It's a cog.
Yes.
Now here's my question: did you get the cog 2-pack from Hasbro?
Not yet.
I didn't either. I think I have it like on a birthday wish list somewhere, but so like theoretically I might get that. Came with a silver and a sort of a maroonish brown. Yeah. I don't know if this silver is identical or if it's slightly different.
I think it's slightly different.
I would hope so because that helps with army building, just variety. But I do like that they have a non-exclusive army builder cog, and I do think silver was the way to go out of the two.
And
yes,
they put in the tonfas that we didn't get with Rocky.
Oh, I did not even. I was looking. I'm like, what?
I
did not even catch that. That's amazing. Okay. Well, now it's a must buy. I was thinking because I will probably eventually get the 2-pack, but I was like, well, maybe I get one and I have 2 silver and 1 maroon, and that's my little squad. Somebody was just talking. I think it was I forget what his a Matt moniker. I forget.
Yeah, Matt moniker.
He was talking about how I last episode was like, I got a Tenga, and he's like, only one, and I did actually get two. And usually for army builders, I'll get two because of space and cost involved. But with the cogs, I was like, well, I could go three because one's different and whatever. But now that I see those for Rocky, I have to get it now. Like, there's not a choice anymore. And that is a good way to make up for a mistake, because someone who like Zedo is going to want a cog. So it's not like it's in some unrelated thing, and a cog is an army builder. So so thumbs up to Hasbro for doing that.
Yes.
That's a good way.
Also, like the Zedo weapons, the blaster's kind of cool. I really dislike those swords. So having him like with generic, not great weapons, I'm like, now like posed up, I'm very excited.
I don't even know if I'll pose him with these or not, but I need to have them.
Yep.
I need to have that option. So
yeah.
I think that was it for the regular 6-inch reveals. Let me see. So that's here's the packaging shot. So that's wave 1 for 2022 is how they described it.
Okay.
But then they talked about the deluxe figures, which let me pull that. You go ahead and talk about that while
I am rant ready.
Oh, okay.
So if you go back to previous Lightning Collection videos we had where they first revealed the deluxe monster figures, we're like, King Sphinx has a great sculpt. Pumpkin Wrapper has a great sculpt, but the paint looks atrocious. So now they have an eye guy coming out where, in my opinion, he's missing a lot of paint. And then they doubled down and they're like, hey, here's Piranacon, who is also missing a lot of paint.
Okay, now eye guy and Piranacon, they revealed earlier, so that wasn't new to this. So they weren't talking about it.
Yes.
So I don't have that queued up ready to go. Both of them, I have vague memories of, and I think I'm remembering maybe the toys more, because eye guy, I remember him basically just being white with like the reddish eyes or whatever. But that's
with a little like wash to fill in the gaps.
And so there's no wash on eye guy. Okay.
Yeah. Same with this. Like it has the primary colors, but
I was gonna say this might be the nicest looking monster we've gotten so far, in my opinion.
It is, but that's not. I mean, outside of Pudgy Pig that they spent all the money on because he's like $50.
We'll get him next, but yeah. This looks, again, because probably I like he has a water effect. Probably because I'm thinking of the figure more than the TV show. Like I feel like he looks like he was revamped and like redesigned to look cooler. Like that head looks awesome.
Yeah,
and I haven't gone back and looked, but I'm betting that looks closer to the show. And I'm just remembering the toy, but
they spend all this money on phenomenal sculpts, and you see people online all the time repainting these figures, and they look great.
So, eye guy needs a wash. What does this guy need?
Same on the arms. It looks super bland and like it's a proto, and on the gills, like just a little bit of black wash, just to show the like little ripples and scales and stuff. Like that's really all it needs.
Right. I don't disagree, and I guess if it's just a wash, that's the easiest fix. If it's like, oh, he's missing red stripes or big, whatever, that gets a little harder to do if you don't have that skill or whatever. But
I've ranted about it so much where you look at, even scroll back a couple photos of any of the other Rangers with intricate, sharp paint details. This is a prime example. No, go to TJ.
No,
like, look.
Okay, fine. We weren't supposed to look at him yet.
No, I know. But look, like they're able to do everything in the middle. It looks clean. It's got the net, like super easy. Now, I need a one shot. They do get
things wrong in the Rangers too, though, where they're missing a white stripe or they have silver instead of black. Like they make mistakes. Yeah. My bigger issue is that these figures are more expensive, heavier price point. So don't skimp on the paint. Like you're already charging extra for, like, just charge another $1 if you need to and do the paint right.
I need a one shot really quick because I came prepared.
That all being said, this is not a favorite monster of mine. It's not like, oh my god, what is it, Piranha's head or Piranha head? I always get it wrong.
Maybe, I said Piranacon, but I think I was thinking of like Transformers. I think it's Piranha head.
Oh, you know what? I can just go to the packaging. Hold on. Buke. Pirantis head. It's Pirantis head.
Okay.
Because I know how these things go, and I don't need to have this in my collection. If I missed it, I'll live. And they all seem to go on sale.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to pre-order this. I'm not going to pre-order it or buy it at full price. But this is probably the first monster kaiju of this size that I specifically want to get, even though he's not a particular favorite of mine, just because he's such a cool looking figure. And I'll have him in my Power Rangers collection, but like we watch the Foosh, and Robo's always saying like, that's just a cool figure, man. It could go anywhere. It could be Marvel Universe. It could be and that's how I feel about this guy. He's just really, really cool looking.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to buy him the day he comes out, but I'm not waiting for bargain basement clearance either. If he goes on sale like 20% off at Target, I'll pick him up. I just need a little nudge to get him, and I will.
We'll see. So this, I think it's between 30 and $40, right? Maybe they're 35 now and they up the price.
Yeah, because everything's gone up. It was like 30, 32, but now I think it's like 35. Like
we'll say 35 to 40.
Yeah.
This is why I need a one shot, because I came prepared.
Okay, let me give you one shot.
So Hasbro made that, and it's $30 to $40. Here are some other figures that are also bulky and at different price points from other companies.
Are these recent figures though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's one that is $20 made by the same exact company. This is a Marvel Legend. It's $20. It doesn't have a lot of paint, but it has enough to work, I think, almost as much as, Piranha's head. Wrong side of the hand. There we go. So there's one. Here's one from a direct competitor of Hasbro. This is a DC Multiverse McFarlane 7-inch figure.
I think that's a better comparison. I think he's closer with detail and coloring and stuff.
He is half the price.
What does he come with?
This.
Well, I just playing devil's advocate, because I get the point you're making, but looking at, let me put it back up here.
But
hold on.
Look
at Piranha's head. He comes with alternate hands. He comes with his like fish chuck weapons and a water effect.
Which is why he should warrant more. This is the same price as this. He doesn't have accessories, but he is significantly.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But McFarlane toys seem to be on the lower end of price. When everyone else is going up, he's staying at 20.
Correct.
And I don't know if it's because he's doing less Build-A-Figure and less. Well, no, he does do Build-A-Figure. Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure out why. My guess is that McFarlane owns the company. It's him, and he has people beneath him and stuff. But as long as he's making money and making cool figures, he's an artist too. So I think he wants to make cool figures as much as he wants to make money. Whereas Hasbro is a huge company that has shareholders and there's certain profit margins they need to make. So he's probably making less money per figure, but he's okay with that. That's my guess.
So here's a great example of a figure that wash and detail on the paint is everything.
Yeah. This is
a NECA alien. I think it came with accessories, but it's one of those things. NECA gives you so many accessories you kind of forget and put them in a box.
Here again, playing devil's advocate. As much as we love Power Rangers, and everybody watching this loves Power Rangers, let me give myself a two-shot here. Power Rangers compared to a lot of other properties is small and niche. As much as it seems big to us, and it's in Japan and it's been around forever, and that's all true. Batman and DC is much bigger. Everybody knows Batman. Everybody knows Doomsday. Aliens also very big. Has much wider appeal. You know what I mean? Like people that aren't even
Alien has less of an appeal than Power Rangers.
You think Aliens has less? I'm just thinking of toy collectors I know and adults I know that aren't toy collectors that might be persuaded to get a cool Alien figure that would never buy a Power Ranger figure ever.
That's because of that niche. Power Rangers fits both. Alien is very specific.
I'm just saying, I think Hasbro could be just being greedy, sure. But I think when it comes to like Star Wars or Marvel Legends, I think that's even weird because Marvel is so huge, but Power Rangers, I think maybe what they're doing is just unifying the prices across the line. You know what I mean? And just like
but we only have these kind of lack of paint issues with the Monster line. That's other true. Hasbro line.
Well, maybe that's Hasbro saying, hey, we could sell deluxe figures at this price point, but Power Rangers don't sell as well as Star Wars, so let's cut back on the paint.
No,
which is crummy. But
there's no reason because they put all the money into the sculpt. That sculpt is
expensive
and it's a one-off.
Application does cost money. It is a money issue for sure. Yeah,
but they
might not agree with it.
Sculpts every time, whereas for some other lines they get to reuse stuff. Here's my last example.
Okay.
Here's a Diamond Select Hulk figure for scale. He's same price as Piranhacon. And look,
it's not
Piranha's head has different paint there to accent the details. And before you ask, well, I'm going to play devil's advocate. He didn't come with anything. Came with hands and an alternate head that's fully painted.
Gotcha.
And he is the same price.
So you're basically what you're saying is these are overpriced for what you're getting compared to other toys.
Yeah, because Hasbro is, in my opinion, Hasbro is the biggest of all of the companies I named.
Yes, I agree.
So there's no reason that they should try
Well-
to use a cost issue for paint when they have no reason to.
I'm sure it's a money thing. I don't know why they're making the decision, but I'm sure it's for money. What other reason? I don't think they're just messing. I used to think, oh, it was a mistake, like on King Sphinx or whatever. But like, I think they are consciously choosing to save money on the paint on Power Rangers. Why? I don't know exactly. Do I like it? No. Do I agree that your examples are showing us that they could do better? Yes. But you're like, why? You know, it's a money issue. I'm sure of it. I'm sure they're saving money. It's not a mistake over and over again.
But
you know
then
what I mean?
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of destruction of they put out the monster figures, no one buys them. Then they have to be clearanced out because they suck. Then they put out more, and it's the same cycle, and they go, people didn't want monsters.
I am surprised they're still putting out these deluxe. I thought the line was going to be dead. I mean, maybe these were already in the pipeline, so they couldn't kill it. I thought they were going to go back to just doing, you know, Goldar type, like they could, because they could even do Promptus head. Don't give them any of the extras, and you know, and do the light paint apps and sell them for $22 or whatever they're going. Like, I think you could do that, or skip him. Not that I'm saying do skip them, but if they think they're not selling, like, so it is weird that they're still going, but it's interesting that they're diversifying and it's no longer the monster line. It's like the deluxe line, I think they're calling it. Because am I sharing this? I'm not sharing this. Let me share. Because as we spoiled a second ago, they also revealed this Galaxy glider with TJ, which I have very mixed feelings about.
So keeping on paint, look at the Galaxy glider. There's not paint missing anywhere.
But arguably, there's less paint apps. It's like a bunch of silver and then just the little gold right there.
But it's complete.
Yes, I like the clear plastic for the light. That's what I like.
Yeah.
This is the second TJ figure. The first one hasn't hit stores yet. It hasn't hit, even though I pre-ordered it, I don't have it yet. So I'm not sure what the differences are between the two. That looks like a really good selling word. If assuming that it's the exact same figure but comes with a Galaxy glider, and it's the same price point of whatever $35 or that we're guessing, this bothers me more because that means you get this $20 figure, which is already available, and then you're paying 15-ish for just the Galaxy glider.
Probably 20. I have a feeling this is 40.
Okay, if it's 40, then you're paying $20 for a Galaxy glider. So you either get another figure or you get the Galaxy glider. Now, if this was a like some kind of set that, I don't know, had like a different enemy or an alternative, like ripped up suit version, or, you know, actually that would be really cool if it was him in his ripped up turbo suit. That would be a fun alternative. But
like
like
a Galaxy glider, that doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does, because his turbo suit gets ripped up and then he goes in space and he gets, like, you can connect those two. What? That's just an example. Maybe somebody could tell us, because I didn't do my homework, what the difference is between this figure and the previously released one. They seem the same at a glance.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering about this shade of blue. Looks light to me. Does that look light to you? Or
it does, but I'm thinking it's the
light
photography of it.
Maybe. So I don't, even though TJ, and this is the flip of the Merrick figure. In space designs are not my favorite designs. I think they're fine, but they're not, like, if you put all the designs, they're like definitely middle or lower. They're not middle or higher for me, but I love the season, and TJ is my favorite. So like, I want a TJ figure more than I want that suit. And so I have a TJ figure on pre-order with Psycho Silver. Do I need to get this? I don't think so. Unless
you're going to get this on sale because you like TJ, and you're going to say, this is the one Galaxy glider I'm getting because it's TJ, and then I'm done. If
it's on sale, I could see getting, but it'd have to be like, it have to be 20 or less to get it.
I could see you getting it.
And this is as someone who's a big TJ fan, you know, so it's just weird marketing that, like, this goes back to, I think it was Lost Galaxy Red, where he came out in a 2-pack with Psycho Red, and then like a year or two later, he came out as a single. That's the way to do it. We haven't even gotten the first TJ yet, and they're already soliciting another one. That rubs me the wrong way. They should have spaced it out.
This, to me, is only the second time I can think of where they did this, where we're like, Hasbro, don't do this. And they only did it once since we had that conversation.
Zed, and they did it with the Psycho Rangers.
Not Zed. Zed was a long enough time in between.
Okay. Well, what about
Zed just rubbed you the wrong way because you don't like buying very unique things twice. Zed, I was like, that's totally fine.
Psycho Rangers.
Psycho Rangers was egregious. That one I don't condone in any way, because it wasn't one figure they duped us on. It was two.
Yes. And 2 figures, one of which was in a 2-pack.
Yeah.
Like, arguably, there could have been people that got it just for him and didn't care about, you know, the other figure. But so did you order the 2-pack with TJ and Psycho Silver?
No, but I plan on getting it.
You plan on getting it. What about this? Do you plan on getting this version?
I don't know.
So the Psycho Silver version is the one you definitely want. This one you're like maybe.
Well, because I have the
Original
original Galaxy gliders of
Right.
everybody, and I have the bike for silver that's chromed
Right.
out. So I'm like, I'm fine there.
Gotcha. I can live without the glider. I have the only original glider I have is silver, and mainly because it's chrome. So yeah, I don't know. I like the idea that they're doing deluxe figures, but they mentioned battleizers. I think that's more exciting to me.
Yes.
And probably way more exciting to you because you're a bigger battleizer guy.
Yes, 100%.
So what? Let's say the next thing they announce is a battleizer deluxe pack. What battleizer do you want to see?
I think we talked about this. It's not a battleizer, but it's a different version. The Triassic Red from Dino Thunder is what I really like.
Whether it's technically a battleizer or not, it has.
Yeah. Also, if they really wanted to, speaking of like power ups, I feel like they could do some weird like cobbled super glued version of like the super Dino Thunder Rangers, where like they just like put plastic like extensions on all of
I
their.
was actually thinking going back. I agree that they could do a variant. I mean, but what I was thinking is going back to your earlier point about accessory packs and stuff, or maybe this could be a pack in with one of their villains or something, like clip-ons. So you can clip it onto the figure you already have and clip it off because, you know, you don't necessarily want a whole new set of figures with those. But I would like some version with that, yeah. But in terms of battleizers, I think I still go back to In Space Red battleizer would be
that
my
one's
number
great.
one. Because it's the first one, it's American, and it's weird because I'm not into that, like where it's like crazy muscular and stuff because like it doesn't match the show. But in this case, it would match the show, and it's so Power Rangers to me, even though it wasn't Mighty Morphin, like just that it's a in canon version of what the toys look like for like the first 10 years they exist.
I don't think they're gonna do that though if they do it.
In Space is a popular season.
No. I think if they do an In Space battleizer, they're gonna take that mold and then put armor on it, and they're not gonna do that weird chest thing.
This would be the one time when it would be appropriate to have a big.
I'm not disagreeing with you. That is my call shot.
If they don't do it, I don't even know if I want it.
I mean, I would get it, but like, I'd have to think of all the battleizers. I don't even know if we ranked them when we were doing our ranked lists and stuff, but
we talked about them. I don't know if we literally did a ranking or not.
God, I really am. I'm like drawing a blank on. I know that's not my favorite one. Oh, Carnival. I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, for Dino Charge.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
All right, so I don't have the full. Let me bring the next one we should talk about is Pudgy Pig.
Yeah, so we saw this a while ago, and like, look at that paint.
Yeah. It looks perfect. He's got to wash. Yeah, he does look very good. Now, you were saying how he's more expensive, but it does come with like special packaging. I don't remember. Was there anything in the packaging?
No, he's in the packaging.
So he comes with alternate hands and a couple pieces of food and his weapons. It seems like the standard stuff, other than the packaging. So you're paying all that extra money for the packaging and/or slightly better paint.
Yep.
Pudgy Pig looks really good. He probably does look the best.
He by far is the best out of all of them.
Fine. But I don't want him. I've never been a fan of Pudgy Pig.
I do, and I love that episode.
I don't know why, because I like goofy, silly things, but there's something about like that figure looks really good, but no part of me wants it. Like
I love the figure as a kid, and that was one of the episodes I had on a VHS my dad made for me of like random Saturday morning Saban shows. So I watched that episode like more than most.
Well, that makes sense. But I guess my thought is like I didn't love him in the show. He was just like a monster of the week. And then when the toys came out, I always saw him like, first of all, like the monsters were always there, the Rangers were always sold out. But like he was always in this lineup, and all the other monsters look kind of tough and cool or so crazy psychedelic out there. And then he's just this like pig guy, and I'm like, eh. So I guess I had a negative opinion because of that. But this figure looks great, and I'll agree with you. It is probably the best one of the monsters. But even if it was regular price instead of con price, I'm not sure if I'd want it. And so I'm not getting it for sure at this con release. Are you potentially going to get that, or
right now? No, down the line probably.
Well, but it's a con exclusive, so it might not be available down the line, or it might be more expensive down the line.
So here's my thing: if Lord Draken Evo 3 was available for like a year, I'm not worried about this guy.
Lord Draken is cooler, and the comic is a big deal. but you don't underestimate the Mighty Morphin nostalgia. Like you just talked about, there's so many people that only care about Mighty Morphin.
This is more expensive than that Lord Draken was. And it looks less.
Wait, I thought this was $50. How much was Lord Draken?
I think Lord Draken was 50. I don't know what this is exactly. I want to say it's like 57 or something.
Okay. I guess what I'm saying is, so your thought is not that you'll get it on sale or on the secondary market. You think, excuse me, it'll be on Pulse long enough that in a month or whatever you'll buy it.
Either that, or if I find a deal where somebody, keep for whatever. This is one of those weird corner cases where they're like, my kid wants the lunchbox, and I'm like, cool, I don't. So
I don't think
know.
it's a real lunchbox. Just to be clear, I think it's like a display line. Like I don't think you could actually put your lunch.
I thought it was an actual not.
They
great
showed it
lunchbox.
open, but it looks flimsy. I don't think it's like something you could actually use.
We'll see. I don't know.
I think if you want it and you don't buy it soon, you're not going to get it, or you're not going to get it for retail price.
We'll see.
Okay.
This is another one though that like if I didn't, I wouldn't cry about it.
Okay, well that's a different story. I think the only other thing. Oh, they talked about the new Megazord, which I'm not finding a picture.
There's 2 new Megazords.
There is 2 new Megazords. I'm looking for the vanilla one, but I'm not seeing the picture. What did they call it? Ascendant? Megazord Ascendant?
Yeah, it was something weird. I'm gonna look on my phone because I don't want to look on my computer anymore because that's when you were like, "Hey, why are you all glitchy?"
Well, okay, so I'll open this one, which is not the standard one. This is the non-standard version. This is the gold and black.
That's the NFT version.
Yes. So putting aside, we'll figure out. Putting aside the quality, price, excitement level for this new Megazord, not talking about that at all. I hate this because I don't like NFTs.
Yeah,
in general. The whole idea of NFTs to me, just like on a gut level, when I first heard about him as an artist, I'm like, that's stupid. That's my gut reaction. Like, oh, we're gonna pay to own like a JPEG that only 10 other, but other people can have that image, but you have like a stamp that says it's your, like the whole thing just seems like scammy. It just seems pyramid scheme scammy. It seems rich people hiding their money scammy. It seems elite club scammy. I hate it. The whole thing just seems dumb, and it seems to be something that like rich elitists like can feel good about, and other people can get ripped off on. That was my initial reaction to NFTs, not to this specifically. Then as I learned more about it, I'm like, that kind of seems what it is, except people are making money off the cryptocurrency. So there are a lot of people that are like, creating, and then they're making a lot of money and the people under it aren't, which is like the definition of a pyramid scheme. So I was like, oh, this really is not good in a lot of ways. And then I found out that generally speaking, cryptocurrency is not good for the environment because people just have these machines running forever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And it's so just about, I don't like it on any level. NFTs, I'm sorry if you like them. If you have information to convince me I'm wrong, I will listen. But based on what I've seen and heard, like I hate everything about NFTs. So when they announced that this was some sort of NFT, I'm like, what? Oh God. But beyond me not liking NFTs, because I saw other people on there also commenting, not for the reasons I was, but like, why are you making this hard to get? Why are you jumping on this NFT bandwagon? Just sell it to us. What are you doing? And that is the other reaction, that even if you don't have a problem with NFTs, like what are you doing, Hasbro? Just sell the people the thing. Yeah. And at first I thought it was just they were selling an NFT of these images. And then I realized, like, oh no, you buy the NFT and it's like $200. That I do know the price of $200. You buy the NFT, and so you get like the image or whatever piece of digital garbage that is worthless, but they're convincing you is worth something. And then you get a token, and that token you turn in for an actual figure to get the alternative. Now, again, forgetting my hatred for NFTs, that's a dumb way to do it. You're making it hard to get something. It's already a hard to get thing. Why are you making people jump through hoops? It's an expensive toy. Just let them buy it. It's stupid. Boo, Hasbro. Boo.
So we have similar views, but for different reasons.
Okay.
I'm not into NFTs, A, because I don't fully get them, B, because kind of like you, I'm like, I don't see the long-term value in them personally, but do you, consumers? And then for this, I was like, well, that's kind of dumb that you have to buy the NFT to get it. Okay, not a huge fan of that. And then I looked, and here was the main thing. I was never tempted for this, by the way. Maybe like 5% when I first saw the image, just because something about the black and gold Megazord for Mighty Morphin gets me.
Right.
And then I looked, and it was like, yeah, it's a 1/44 scale. I'm like, wait a minute. Are you charging people $200 for a 5-inch figure?
I wasn't. They made a big deal talking about the scale and how it was the same scale as models and would fit in with all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, but I didn't know what that meant. So are you saying this is 5 inches tall?
Potentially. Here.
I thought it was big because they were saying this is the first time it's been this
Give me
detailed,
one sec.
good, and this transformable at this scale. They kept saying at this scale because clearly we've had the Legacy Megazord and we've had Solar Chogokin and other things like that. And the one I have is the Solar Chogokin, which is about like this tall, so like a foot, a little over. And so my thought was this is even bigger. And I'm like, do I need one that's bigger? For $200, I'm probably good with what I got. And I'm just continuing to talk while Big Dog looks for whatever he's looking for. But if it's smaller, that's even crazier because I guess the advantage of they say it as like, well, it'll match your Gundams and regular model sets will have buildings and cars and things like that match it. And that's the upside.
So here is the Super Mini Pla.
How big is that?
I think this one also is 1/144th, if I remember correctly.
And that's what, like 5-6 inches tall? 6, so 6 at best. Before we go on too much of a rant, are you sure that's the scale? I'm going to try to
It says it in the comments. It doesn't say how big it is. It just says it's 1/144th.
Okay, I'm going to pull this back up. I'm going to share.
Which is another thing of like, if you want to get into Super Mini Pla, just do it.
Okay, it says Hasbro Pulse. There is a bunch of people. Oh, Cameron Lee, who we know. Well, who I know, is saying, like, couldn't you guys sell this without the scam attached? Seriously? Yeah, there's a bunch of people talking about that.
So it's 4:00 Eastern right now. If you want to look on Pulse's website, all this stuff might have more info.
All right, I will do that. You go ahead and talk while I get that up.
Yeah, so assuming that is this big, I'm extra just like, if you want to pay $200 for an exclusive one, by all means, go for it. I know Gundam people go crazy for 1/144 sometimes, and you know the exclusivity.
But that's an established universe too, where they all match each other.
Yeah, which is fine. I get that perspective. Like, if you separate the two conversations, part of it makes sense and part of it makes sense. When you put the two together, you're like, I am a really big fan of French fries. I'm also a really big fan of strawberry jelly. I don't necessarily think the two should be together, but now that I say it out loud, there's probably somebody who made it and it's really good.
All right, so oops, hold on, wait, what do I want? This? Okay, so this is on Hasbro Pulse. It's not available unless you're a premium for the next hour, but the listing is up. So, well, going to the toy itself, though, it does look neat. Like the gold and black is kind of cool. Again, not my thing, but like the red eyes, where'd it go? That looks nice.
I don't like the chest because it looks 3D printed.
I mean, it might be. They said, I don't know about this one, but the colored prototype, they said literally was 3D printed.
Okay.
But if you're talking about like the hexagon,
the honeycomb.
Yeah, the honeycomb. I think that's a choice to do.
So look in the description because I can't read it because it's too small for me. But what is it?
So first ever Hasbro Power Ranger NFT, 1/144th scale. Yeah, and it's the Zord Ascension project. So 1/144th. That's the scale that.
If you're gonna make a bunch of Zords this scale, so they go with Gundams, I'm for that.
AKA model scale. Now, well, here's the thing. This one is $200. I don't see a listing for the regular colorways. They showed it, they announced it, but that one I don't see.
I think that's going to be next, and that's going to be a mass release.
I think that might be cheaper.
Go to the Z helmet while you're on there, by the way.
I'm just going to Pulse products.
Okay.
It's taking a second.
Here's
the $126.
I was right.
Good job. Oh, $32 for the Galaxy Glider.
That's actually not that bad.
That's not that bad. $32 for Prontis Head. All the figures, they're saying 23, although they might be cheaper in store. And then we're getting into Transformers and stuff. Okay. Pudgy Pig is 58.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
can you click on that to see if the lunchbox is like an actual lunchbox?
There's the picture. I mean, just from the picture, I could tell it's not, but let's see what it says.
It looks like an actual lunchbox.
It's designed to look like a lunchbox, but let me read and see what it says. Figure 7 accessories. Oh, okay. This Pudgy Pig lunchbox pack includes accessories inspired by blah, 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 blah. Probably had a plastic fun lunch, but this package was made with that classic inspiration in mind. I don't see anything that says this is a real lunchbox.
Got it.
It seems like they're not going out of their way to say it's not a real lunchbox, so maybe they kind of are okay if people think it is. But if you look at all the pictures, they're a pudgy pig, and then there's one picture of the lunchbox back.
He looks so much better now that you scroll through there.
He looks great, yeah. But here's the back, and there's the front. There's no package pictures of the inside of the lunchbox where you would. And I remember in the live one, which they're not showing here, they did show like, oh look, it even has like a cardboard insert of what looks like Lunchables and like what you get at a 90s lunch. But I don't see anything saying this is a real lunchbox. And if it was, they'd be going, oh, could really use it for a lunchbox. So I don't think it's a real lunchbox.
So they're saying, hey, if you pay us double the price of this figure, you'll get it painted right.
Yeah, and the Lord Draken was $56.99. This is $57.99, so it's $1 more than the Lord Draken.
Okay.
So, well, that was fun. This is rare for us to be cutting edge on the news. Like that just happened. And
I know.
We'll put this up in a minute.
They also talked about comics. I didn't watch it because I'm this far behind, and I'm the guy who's like usually on top of it. One thing I want to note though from the comics is for the Power Rangers series, which focuses on the Omega Rangers, they have a I forget what designator of it. I think it's like cover F, but it's the same price, at least in my comic book store. And it's this, and it's the whole team, like for each one in this arc, as opposed to a cover that like kind of looks like this. And big fan. I have 3 of the 4 Rangers so far.
Nice.
And yeah, then there's the last one. Pretty stoked.
Which it has nothing to do with Pulsecon, but just comics that you're excited to have.
No, because they did a comics panel with Ryan Parrott, the writer of it, for Pulsecon.
I understand, but these are not new comics they're announcing or something like that. Or
well, it's all based on what happens in those.
I was trying to make a noise. Isn't there a way to make noise with paper?
I think something like that.
Here. I did it.
Stop whistling at me.
All right, I think that's it for our 3rd episode in a week. What a comeback! What a comeback!
We are here for all of you. Again, if there's things we got wrong, if there's things we got right that you agree with, if you have grossly different opinions, anything in between, comment down below. We are active there.
Agreed. Something that has nothing to do with Pulsecon, but I'll throw it out because I don't want to make a whole video for it. One of our last videos, we have the intros, and most of them are Ranger actors or other celebrities. I actually have a lot more than I can show right now because for those that don't know, I redid my computer and a lot of my files aren't here, so I only have like 10, but we've got like 30. And one of them was just a friend of mine that's in the ocean, and he's like, "Action activate!" And someone's like, "Who's that guy?" And I was like, "He's just a friend of mine." But then I was like, "Well, anybody could do the opening theoretically." And so I don't know the best way to do it, but if people are interested in submitting openings with basically just saying action activate or, I'm so-and-so action activate or whatever in a unique way in cosplay at a convention with an actor, I don't know, doing something interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2 things. One, I'm not going to promise we'll use them because we might not if you want to send them, no guarantees. And 2, if you send them, you have to we own them. We have the rights to use them however we want in perpetuity because we have no money to give you. And so by sending them, you're giving us the rights to them. So I'll say those 2 things. Other than that, feel free to send them. You could send us a link through the Facebook Action Activate page, or I don't know. That's probably the best way. You could send a DM to my Twitter, or if you're trying to get it to us, probably the Facebook page is the best way. And if you can't figure out, then let us know how to send it to us. But you're probably gonna have to upload it to
YouTube to you.
I think there's a way, but I've never done that. Like maybe on the community page, but I don't get notifications. They're real good. So you put it in the comment. If you can't get on the Facebook page or whatever, then put in the comments that you want to do it. And maybe you could send a private link or something, because you're most likely you're not going to be able to just email it. You're going to have to put it on Dropbox or Google Drive or something like that. Yeah. So ideally you would send a link and I would just get it and then I'd have it. And then maybe one day I'd throw it up. You know what I mean? We're not going to make a contest. We're not going to make a big thing about it. Maybe we'll mention it a few more times. But if you want to send something, by all means do. Yep. Then we own it and maybe we'll use it. That's the conditions I'll give, because I don't want to be held responsible for anything else.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
No, glad to have us back, of course, but glad to see everybody didn't skip a beat in the comments in the last couple of videos
yeah.
and just keeping the conversation going. Even had Slither himself in there, comments a little bit, which was nice. Glad to see Campbell Cooley in the fold.
He's got a new YouTube channel for those that don't know, and probably most of you do. But Campbell Cooley has a YouTube channel that he started not too long ago, and he's been putting out great content. He's really smart. We all know Campbell Cooley is a great guy, interesting guy, Power Rangers, all that stuff. But he's been really smart because he's been putting up stuff, behind the scenes stuff that he couldn't show earlier, that he filmed years ago. He's like, oh, look, it's 2019, and I'm thinking about trying out. And so he filmed it, not able to show it till now, but it's like this cool retroactively behind the scenes. So yeah, he just put up his audition for Slither, or not for Slither, for Mr. Wiz, which spoilers, but you know, it's awesome. It's awesome. How often do you get to see somebody auditioning for the part that they end up getting? That's really cool. And there's lots of other good stuff too, but that's the one I just watched, so it's top of mind. So check that out if you haven't, and give him a like and a follow and all that stuff. But until then, I have been Gazbot.
Still Big Dawg Defender with all of his more phenomenal toys.
And to the
power.
The power, yeah, man.
See you guys later.
And credit. Oh, somebody was saying, and it might have been Matt Monaker again, that you said maybe you lost that hat at a show or a convention or something, the one in the end credits?
Oh, so I'm pretty sure I lost it at a theme park on a roller coaster where I put my hat backwards thinking the wind would affect it, and then it picked it up underneath, and pretty sure that one is gone.
Ah, well, somebody remembered that. So, all right, so that's it for Pulsecon, that's it for us, and then we'll be back next week for a review of episode 13 of Dino Fury, I think.
Yep.
All right.